Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvina Vaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Atha Dutiyodhyayah Arjun Uvacha कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयसन्न्यानिश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनुद्याद् यच्छोकमुच्छोषमिन्द्रियाणाम् अवाप्य भूमावसपत्नमृद्धं राज्यं सुराणामपि चाधिपत्यम् संजय उवाच एवं मुक्त्वा ऋषिकेशं गुडाकेश परन्तप न योत्स्य इति गोविन्दम् उक्त्वा तूष्णीं बभूवः तमुवाच ऋषिकेशः प्रहसन्निव भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये विषीदन्तमिदं वचः.
All right. So far we had covered that Arjun had been giving all kinds of arguments to get out of the situation, which is the war. And he is trying to convince Bhagwan, but Bhagwan didn't seem convinced enough with the arguments. So, you can see a logical flow where Arjun, who is like a warrior, he gets into the middle of the battlefield and he sees Bhishma and Drona and his mamatva, that his attachment to them, that gives rise to a moha, because he is now confused that these are my own people, why should I get into the war? So he gives all kinds of argument, which we have covered in the last few sessions. So now you can see a little change in him. So he says, Karpanya dosho pahata swabhavaha. This Karpanya dosha, which is basically the kayarta, the cowardice, this is not my true nature. So that dosha has somehow come in me. I don't know how I have developed this dosha. So he's seeking advice from Bhagwan. Prachami mam tvam, So he says, I am asking you, Bhagwan, please guide me. Dharma sammuda chetaha. I have lost the ability to discriminate. My vivek has gone, where I can say that this is the right thing to do or not to do. So my ability to understand what is the dharma for me at this time, that I have lost. So he says, tell me what is yashreya, what is good for me, what is good for, which is the higher good. One is to run away. Is that a higher good, or to fight is the higher good? So tell me what is higher good. Nishchitam, please be, tell me exactly, with the, what you think is the right thing to do, decisively tell me that this is what you should do. So here he is telling or asking Bhagwan to guide him. So Bruhi tanme means Bruhi tat me. So please tell me, what is the right thing for me to do? And then he says, why I am asking you? Because Shishyo aham, I am your student, I am depending on you. That is why I chose you over your army, So you are the one who is going to guide me through this. So Shishyo aham, Shado mam, please give me the teaching, means give me the shiksha. So please teach me now. Tvam prapannam, I have come in your sharan. I have surrendered to you. Now I have come to you. So this is where you can see the change that now Arjuna, who was so determined, now he is asking for the right thing to do. So now Bhagwan, now he's asking Bhagwan to guide him. Because see, Bhagwan doesn't speak in the first chapter we saw. Bhagwan didn't say a single word because he was just listening to all the lamenting and what the blabberings of a confused mind. But now that Arjuna has at least that much vivek to know that he is confused. So that is a very important step for us also, to know when we are not confused. And when we are confused, we go to Bhagwan or we, figure out what is the right thing to do, or develop the vivek to figure out what the right thing is. Now, in the next one, he concludes by saying that even if I get everything, he says, avapya bhumo riddham asapatnam. That means if I get the whole world, basically if the whole kingdom comes to me, what kind of kingdom? Riddham, which has prosperous kingdom, which has everything. And asapatnam, which has no rivalry. There is no kingdom to, oppose me now. So if I get that unopposed kingdom, and also I get Rajya Surana, I get the heavenly kingdom as well. So I become like Indra and become the king of all the devatas. Even then, I don't see my sorrow going away. I don't see that. He says, nahi prapashyami. I don't see that. I don't see a way out of it. I don't see how shokam apanudhyat. That means how will my shoka, my sorrows will get reduced. So it is like, at least he is clear about one thing, that any worldly things is not going to solve his problem. When the mind is in that state of sorrow, it is not seeking a worldly solution. He is now seeking a different solution. That's why he has come to Bhagwan and surrendered. But he has also given his last appeal to Bhagwan that, what, though if I get everything also, that is not going to solve my situation. In one way, he's saying that he is in that state of vairagya, where he is not seeking a worldly solution. So Bhagwan understands that he is not, that I have to give him a more adhyatmic solution than, because what happens is, the karmas have two problems, two doshas. The one dosha is that it is temporary. So that means it is limited by time and space and situation. So if my problem is of that situation, if the situation goes away, my problem goes away. So the problem is in that time frame, in that space, in that solution. So that is one way to, one dosha that it has. And then the other is that whatever the solution you get, it is only temporary. So if I get a solution now, my dukkha may be reduced, but then again it comes back in some other form. So the dukkha has no permanent solution. So Arjuna sees no solution that will remove his sorrow. So now he is, now Sanjay says, now the Sutradhar comes back and says, after saying all these things to Bhagwan, surrendering to him, telling him that he doesn't see any solution, he is now looking for a solution. So Sanjay says, Eva Mukta Rishikesham. Evam Ukta Rishikesham. By saying this to Bhagwan, here, Eva Mukta, Arjuna said to Bhagwan, after saying that, he became quiet. Tushnim. So he is now quiet. He is looking for an answer. And but he has also declared, Na yotse, that I don't want to fight. Bhagwan, please help me with that, because I don't think fighting is a solution. So after that, he is now quiet. And this is Arjuna's kind of breakdown, where he is now looking for a solution. He has come to the right doctor. And he says, Sanjay continues, he says, Tam uvacha Rishikesha. And then Bhagwan told him, what? How? Prasanniva, that he was smiling. He was smiling to, and this he is telling to Bharata. In this, Bharata is Dhritarashtra. So Sanjay tells to Dhritarashtra that now Bhagwan tells him, this is coming, what is coming down. And Senayor Ubhayor Madhye, where is it? It is happening in the middle of the battlefield. He is right in front of the Kaurava army, alone in that chariot. And Vishidantam idam vachaha. So Bhagwan, Vishidantam is the one who is in sorrowful state. So that is Arjuna. To him, Bhagwan said. Why was Bhagwan smiling? So here, we are going to cover a couple of things, so that we know what is the state right now, where we are. So one reason why Bhagwan is smiling is that he says, okay, finally, he has asked me to help him out. I had been dying to tell him, this is, your arguments are not making sense. You have to, understand that this is what you're doing is not right. So now Bhagwan gets the opportunity to tell him that. So that's why he's smiling. The other reason is that Bhagwan is happy for him, that he is, through him, I will be able to teach the whole world. So this is why Bhagwan is smiling. But other people have given different reasons for why Bhagwan smiles at this, at the surrender of Krishna. Though Arjuna is in a very sorrowful state. So instead of Bhagwan becoming sorrowful, he's kind of cheering him up. Don't worry, this is not the end of the world. Let me tell you. In Shankaracharya's commentary, because this is what I wanted to cover a little bit here, Bhagwan says, up to this point, Arjuna is expressing shoka and moha. This is the two words you will hear more and more. So shoka is experienced at the mind level. The sorrow is experienced at the mind level, and moha is experienced at the intellect level. So we'll understand this slowly. And the seed of this shoka moha is avidya. Avidya is not knowing your own true nature. Once you forget who you are, then all these new things start coming, all different, it will manifest in different ways. It is not necessarily, what Arjuna is experiencing, because we can say, oh, I don't have that problem, what Arjuna is having, but we may have different problems. So this is called Bhranti Pratyaya. So what is not there, you start to experience that. Anyways. So his problem is that he is not seeing the enemy. He has forgotten what his duty is. He has come here as a warrior. He was going to get involved in that war. But instead of seeing the enemy, he is seeing his grandfather, he's seeing his uncles, he's seeing his guru, he's seeing all relatives. So he says, I didn't come to fight with my relatives. But didn't he know that he was here for that alone? So anyways, so what was his fear? What was all this has come from bhaya. The result of moha is bhaya and shoka. So what is the bhaya? What is the fear that he experiencing? Separation. Separation from his guru, his grandfather, his relatives. And this separation is because he is seeing they are me, they are mine, So this is where there is two words used here, ahankar and mamakar. Mamakar is that ahankar is where you say that this is my extension only, that this is my identification. They are part of my identification. If I lose them, I lose part of myself. And he says, I belong to them and they belong to me. So how can I, kill them? This relationship idea is what is creating this attachment, and the suffering is because of the separation anxiety of this attachment. So, and this is for anybody, wherever we have attachment, we don't want to lose it. Wherever we think, oh, this is mine, I don't want to lose it. And if there is comes a time when I lose, then I am suffering. So this is where, this is the seed of the problem. So how do we see, so as I said, this is, the suffering is at the mental level, the mind level, and the, now here we have one more thing to see. This is, whenever we have, what is the definition of karma here is whatever we are doing is for fulfilling that I-ness or minus, So all this focus, is on what will I get out of this. So this is where the karma, so as a individual, as a ahankar, I can say, what is wrong with that though? What if I like something, if I want to do something for myself, is there any problem? No problem. There is no problem in doing that. But what happens is, let's look at the cycle of karma, then we will understand. So cycle of karma is, it is always desire born, which means that I have already decided what my end result should be. Even when I, drive out of my, house, I always put where I'm going first. This is either I'm going to office, or I'm going for a meeting, or I'm going for some party, or wherever I am going, I have to know the destination. So I have already decided what the end result is going to be, Then this end result will be either, it'll bring me joy or it'll bring me sorrow. So if it is going to, or we can say, we can follow dharma or we can follow adharma. These are the two choices, or something in between. So we do those things, and this will give rise to either sukham or dukkham, either happiness or sorrow. If it is happiness, then we say, okay, this is something I want to do again. This goes into my vasana, package of vasana. And if it is going to give me dukkham, then I say, okay, I don't want to repeat that. But that also stays in my vasana only, something to avoid. So this cycle of sukha dukkha continues. There is no getting rid of it, because this is how the sansar works, because it creates the raga dvesha. Raga means likes and dislikes. So this likes and dislikes again start the cycle of karma. Okay, let me repeat that. If I'm watching a Netflix show and I have watched the first one, if I have liked it, then I say, okay, let me watch the second part, or let me watch the third part. So that is something that pushes us to do it. So karma is being is, as a part of our nature, it pushes itself. So, so this is how the karma works, and this is where there is no way out of it. So if suppose something happens and we are experiencing the shoka because some separation is happening, so whatever is happening, we again avoid it, go back, so we can get out of the situation by avoiding it, or by somebody saying, okay, at this point this is what you should do, or we are through our viveka we know that we should do this, but it is not going to totally eliminate dukkha for future also. It is only temporary solution. The only way, and this is what is called samsara. Samsara cycle is endless. There is no way out of it except for Brahma Vidya. So Brahma Vidya alone is the solution for that. And this is what Bhagwan will get into right away, after this. So here Shankaracharya is telling that the question that Arjun had was, should I fight or should I not fight? That was a simple question. Bhagwan should have said, at this point, I think your dharma is to fight. Game over, we are done. Bhagavad Gita finished. But Bhagwan doesn't say that. He doesn't fix his immediate symptom. He wants to get into the root cause of that problem. The root cause is what Bhagwan wants to eliminate. And he wants to eliminate for us as well, that we should focus on what exactly is the root cause. So symptom can be removed, but then something else will manifest. So Bhagwan, Arjuna didn't ask Bhagwan for moksha vidya. He didn't say, give me Brahma Vidya. He says, I don't want to fight, but my dukh is not going away. Tell me what is shreyas for me. What is the higher good for me? What is the right thing for me to do? Because here is another thing that I want to bring in, because his problem is his identity. His problem is that at this point, he forgot that he's a warrior. He only thought himself to be grandson or a student. So this identity problem is what Bhagwan wants to solve. So here we should understand what is an identity. What kind of identity do we have? So we have two types of identities. One is called the absolute identity, or we can call it Atma, or at this point, just leave it at absolute identity. And the other one is transactional identity, or Vyavharik I. So here identity means I. So one is absolute I and one is the transactional I. So what does the transactional I do? Transactional I has duties, it has responsibilities, it has situations that it gets into, it has the relationships, it has all these, the dharma, karma, all these fall into the transactional I. It doesn't fall into the absolute I. Absolute I is the one that powers the transactional I. But transactional I is the one which decides I should do this or I should not do this. This is the right thing, this is the wrong thing. What is the dharma, what is adharma? All these things belong to transactional I. It doesn't belong to the absolute I. So now this is where the moha is, where we forgot that I am absolute I versus transactional I. So let's continue. So all these do's and don'ts belong to the transactional I, and all the Dharma Shastra is also written for transactional I. It is not written for absolute I. Absolute I doesn't need any of those things. So because either we do the dharma, either we do karma or we do upasana, right? So upasana may give us a higher results, but it will still be temporary results. It will still bring us in that cycle of karma only. So we cannot get out of um, through karma or through upasana. So these two are not solutions for moksha. They are solution for a happy life. If you just want I want to be Rajiv Khanna and I want to be a happy Rajiv Khanna, then you follow dharma. You follow the dharma and upasana path, you'll be happy. There's no problem. But that is going to continue and it is going to require you to do a lot of things. To follow dharma, you have to do a lot of things. To follow upasana, you have to do a lot of things. So that means my happiness will depend on the karmas that I am doing. You get it? So anyway, but if I understand that I am absolute I, then nothing of this transactional I can impact me. If my nature as an absolute I is anandam, it is of pure, sheer bliss. That means it doesn't have any obstruction in my joy. Then I have to understand my true nature. And this is what the Brahma Vidya is about. So Vedanta is not about fixing your immediate problem. The problems will come, but Vedanta doesn't say that, by studying Upanishad, you will not have a problem. You will have tons and tons of problem, But Vedanta says, understand that you are not the one who is having the problem. You understand? So you are not the one who is having the problem. The one who is having the problem is the false identity, ahankar, or the transactional I, which is having this problem. So once you understand, then you are able to delineate, you are able to separate the real I from the transactional I. You can still act in the world, but you will not be bothered by the worldly things. You will still be able to live as an observer of that identity instead of getting sucked into it. So the theme of this second chapter is Atma Anatma Vichar. So this transactional I is Anatma. Anatma means it is not the true identity. It is a transactional identity. It may appear to be true. It may appear to be real, but it is temporary. So, and it changes continuously, it is changing. And Bhagwan is going to give that a detailed message in this chapter. So now let's conclude for the day, and we will continue this in the next session. Thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.